Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who've just come across this accidentally, my name is Marie-Christine Zupancic. I'm section leader flute of the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, and I also teach at the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire. Today I would like to invite you to examine your negative beliefs. In my video on how to play better when it counts, I talk about how a positive mindset and affirmations can help you play better. So if you haven't seen this yet and you're interested, I'll link it just up here. As much as focusing on positive beliefs can actually really rewrite your negative ones just by repeating them, I would like you to think about if there's any area in your playing that you have negative beliefs about. A very common one is that people think their articulation is not very good, they can't double tongue. Could be that you think I'm just not a good performer, or my breathing isn't very good. Anything. Is there anything negative that you believe about your playing? Now, if we look at the example of my breathing isn't very good, is this actually true? Because the thing is with beliefs is that we pick them up along the way, and sometimes we believe in something that is completely out of date. It might be true that 5 years ago that is something that you struggled with, but in reality you can actually now get through any phrase without much struggle. So that belief might really just need updating. If we then look at the belief of I can't double tongue, that might be true. You might not be able to do that yet. And maybe you're just fine with that. I can't do this, and that's just what it is. However, if in an ideal world you would really like to be able to do it, then what are you doing about it? One way of getting over this hurdle of this limiting belief is actually to see what questions you're asking yourself. If you have the limiting belief of I can't double tongue, if while you're practicing you're thinking, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Your brain is an amazing thing. It will always try and find answers. And if you ask it, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Sure, it will come up with lots of reasons. However, a better question would be, what can I do about it? What is it that I'm doing already now that is maybe not helpful at all? So you might have some sort of tonguing practice routine that you've been doing for ages and is not actually getting you any results. So then it might just be time to look at your routine and change it. There's so many fantastic books out there. So maybe change the book, look at a different approach, or discuss it with your teacher if you are at college. Tell him that you've been doing the same thing for a long time, it's not getting you any results. Or it might just be that you're not really practicing it every day and you're kind of just avoiding it because that's something that we all like to do, me included. If there's an area that you think, oh, I'm not so good at that, it's very easy to just go and avoid it. I've definitely been there too. And then it might just be a case of telling yourself that I'm going to just do this. People say that it takes 21 days to adopt a new habit. So you could set yourself the challenge today that for the next 21 days, for 10 minutes a day, you will practice your double tonguing. And then see where you are in 21 days. Sticking with the example of tonguing, when I started music college, I couldn't double tongue really at all. I'd never really learned it before. And I think it took me about 2 weeks until I felt like I'm really getting somewhere. And then, of course, once you get over the hurdle of just not wanting to do this one thing that you can't really do very well, then things do tend to improve. If other people can do it, then that usually isn't a reason why you shouldn't be able to do it. It's very, very unlikely that you have some physical restrictions in your tongue movement and your tongue just won't move very fast. It's very unlikely. It's probably just a matter of practice and doing it consistently, and practicing it in the right way. And maybe you're just doing exercises that are not helpful. And then just change something about your routine. Just to give you an example of something that I felt I couldn't do, when I started college, I didn't play the piccolo. I'd never tried. I got away with it for the first year of never trying still. But then my teacher was constantly nagging me, like, you have to play the piccolo. And I thought, why? I don't want to. I just play the flute and I don't want to play the piccolo. But I had to go have lessons. And I kept borrowing the conservatoire's piccolo, much to everyone's annoyance. Didn't want to buy my own instrument. And I practiced, unwillingly for 5 minutes here or there. But it was just squeak, squeak, squeak every time. And I thought, oh, this is horrible and I can't do it. I'm just no good at it and I don't want to. That attitude, that lasted for quite a while. And then it was only, I think, in my third year that I'd sort of just quit a job which was taking up way too much time. And I was just desperate to earn some money during college. And so I was approached by a friend, and he said to me, could you play these 10 concerts with my chamber group? Someone pulled out last minute and we desperately need a flute player. And I was desperate for money, obviously, as well. And I thought, great, yes, I'll do it. And then I said, well, but what would I need to do? And he said, well, Vivaldi Piccolo Concerto. So I kept a very straight face and I said, okay. So as soon as he'd left, I took the piccolo and went into a room and I thought, okay, I am not leaving this room until I can play the piccolo. At that point, I had 5 or 6 days notice. And I mean, I owned the music of the Vivaldi Piccolo Concerto, but I'd really not mastered any of it. Or even just getting a straight note out of the piccolo without any squeaks. And of course, the piccolo is not that different from the flute. I mean, it's the same fingerings and all that. But of course, it's much smaller and it might need slightly different breath pressure, slightly more precise embouchure, all these kind of things. So anyway, in this case, I then went into the room, did not stop after 5 minutes, although it really did not sound good to start with. Like, just kept playing no matter what. And after about an hour, it really didn't sound half bad. I thought, what about this concerto then? So I practiced something like 4 or 5 hours every day for the next few days. And then I went and played the Vivaldi Piccolo Concerto. Played 10 concerts with that group. And then they kept booking me for another tour and another tour. And then a year later, when the audition came up for the Carrion Academy, guess what? 3rd round Vivaldi Piccolo Concerto. You had your 1st round Mozart, 2nd round Bozza Image, 3rd round Vivaldi. And most flute players there were absolutely panicking. Oh God, now I have to play the piccolo. And I just thought, oh my God, I've played this piece so many times. So I just walked on stage being a piccolo expert now. And I won the audition. And this is basically what my whole career is based on. I got into the Carrion Academy and then got into the CBSO. But my whole career started with the piccolo, with something that I assumed I just couldn't do and I was absolutely rubbish at. But then, to be fair, because of that pressure of I needed the money and there was a gig with piccolo and I just really needed to do it. And so suddenly I found the motivation to not give up after 5 minutes. I hope this is inspiring to you. And if there's any area of your playing that you think, I just can't do this. Are you sure? Have you really tried everything? Have you tried a different approach? Are you sure you really can't do it? In German, we have the saying, where there's a will, there is a way. And I'm sure you can find a way to sort out your issue as well. Have a great weekend. And if you feel like it, leave me a comment down below, maybe with an area of your playing that you want to tackle now. See you soon.